All right, it's 10 o'clock in the morning the next morning. You can actually see Jeremy's nailing job stayed in place in the corner. The tarp literally ripped when the branch came through. There's branches all on top of things. They're all small. One on the porch is a little bit more significant. That's probably why it ripped. So you can definitely see the main part of the roof. Jeremy's tarp job did a very good job. The section that is open, of course, there is no way to truly safeguard it, especially once the tree branch came through. So luckily, I think I can fix this without having to get on the roof. This was the window frame that was propped up here. All right, let's see how bad it is in here. Definitely water coming in. The floor upstairs has a stain on it, so I think it washed down here. And on the back side here, you can see we actually put up the baby gate that we have for the dog for while we were in here with the tornado warning. But this was where the leak was, that was really significant from that hole, and it stayed dry. Just a quick walkthrough, checking everything. Kitchen stayed good. Yay. Of course, in that room, it's really damp. But maybe just a little bit of moisture in the corners. And then definitely through right here, got a little damp. So it looks like basically a line came through here evenly of rain. My guess is because right here the tarp came off and this slopes down, I think it just followed the board. I don't think the tarp itself moved or anything or has holes. I think it just came from that corner. You can see the wall looks like it was crying. Some of that, like right there, was from the previous rain too. But this bucket didn't get too much. We got really lucky. Almost looks like a dead rat in there. It's not, I swear. It's just a leaf. So I'll let that spot dry out. But I'll show you guys some pictures that I took when it happened. Right here looked like it was crying from the light switch. And it was dripping down the walls a little bit. And the stairs were all wet, especially like right through here. They look like they're just still a little damp, but not too bad. This could have been way worse. Oh, yeah. Corner definitely got damp. I didn't see that on the way up. I am going to leave both these doors open today to get some airflow through to help dry it out. And today is a follow-up from the little video that I put out last night when we had a tornado come through the area. Just to let you all know, my county is kind of devastated. There were trees down everywhere. Luckily, there's no reports of death so far. So the county we live in, Pickens County, Georgia, and the very edge of the county below us, Cherokee County, which is the county we moved from, but we were on the opposite side of it. There are trees down everywhere. There's RVs flipped over, which hits a little close to home. Apparently in Flowery Branch, Georgia, a little bit farther away, an RV park got devastated with RVs tossed around everywhere. A gas station that luckily is no longer in use, the roof of over the gas pumps got flipped over or bent over. when the storm first hit, basically every road in my area was impassable. There were roads that had upwards of 30 something trees down on them. I wanted to share with you this picture because I thought it was really cool. This is, since we are in the mountains here, this is from up on the mountain, the storm front coming in. So you can kind of see the significance of it. The wind map does show that our exact location got 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And that doesn't include the fact that there was a tornado that passed very close, if not kind of above us. We are down, well, let me start by saying, I know why this cabin has lasted so long. Its location, when it comes to storms, is perfect. The road goes basically north to south. East is behind us, right here. West isn't where you can't see. So when storms come in, given that we are in a valley, we have a very steep hill behind us. In front of us across the road is another very steep hill immediately. So just to enter the neighborhood that's across the street from us, they have to go up a road that's like this. We are very lucky that we can see wind swirling around, but usually right in our spot, it's more calm. And the neighborhood in front of us does have reports of lots of trees down, with possibly a little tornado skipping through that area. And a bit behind us, by about a mile, is another neighborhood that has more significant tree damage, where trees are snapped off halfway up in a path. Because the Weather Service doesn't truly confirm tornadoes until they have daylight and they can walk around, we can just, you know, we can guess at it. And there are people saying that they saw it with their own two eyes, so I'm pretty sure it was a tornado. And the howling that we heard that made us go running for the cabin was the tornado. And in the distance, we could also hear sirens going off, but not close here. But I don't know if this location truly gets tornado sirens. I know in the area they test on, I think it's the first Wednesday of every month at noon, they test the sirens. And I've never actually heard it close to us. But the damage on our property was not severe. We just have lots of large branches down and small branches and leaves everywhere. We were very lucky. And I have to say, when looking through the county's Facebook page, the amount of people in this area that go and help others is just incredible. Neighbors were helping neighbors. There were people out on horseback trying to go check on people for other people. It makes me very happy that I moved to a smaller town and everyone takes pride in taking care of each other. So let me go ahead and show you real quick. Last night when the rain eased off and it was just sprinkling, I did get a chance to go out into the little dog enclosure and take a look at the roof, because I thought the tarp was in a whole lot worse shape than it really was. So, very good news. The tarp's not in as bad a shape as I thought it would be with all the water coming in, but the front of it definitely didn't stand a chance. So I have a theory of why it's leaking right through here. I think this edge here, because it has a slope, I think it's all running down and it's just coming from that corner, luckily. When we were in the cabin and hearing the storm going on, I thought it was so much worse. So Jeremy didn't do a bad job tacking it down. Just this open area in front blew away. But I mean, there was a tornado literally came through the area. Last night and this morning, we did have 3 more rounds of rain come through. One was very significant, like torrential downpours with thunder and lightning. So I am glad the cabin is in the shape that it's in. We do have more coming today that is supposed to be, again, very significant, like possible tornadoes, again, that type of thing. Not that I'm expecting a tornado, but thunder and lightning. I think the first round of storms hit about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd say around 12:30 in the morning, my ring went off and it let me know that we had a visitor at the front door again. I had a little baby bear cub. And when I looked out the window, Mom was inside the dog pen, which, if you haven't seen, is connected to our front door. So both Mom and baby were inside our little enclosure. And just to let you know, I did 3 pounds on the side of the RV. No yelling or anything, just that little bit. Mom bolted right over the fence. And of course, she went in the one spot where, because it's a pre-made fence, I had to zip tie it because it's on a hill. and not level. So she broke the zip tie. So I was out there at 6:40 this morning with the dog zip tying the fence. But mom and baby bolted and we're gone the rest of the night. So I'm going to fix this. Luckily, I won't have to get on the roof. I'll just have to use a ladder right here and see what I can do. And I feel I need to address something real quick. The comments about how stupid we are, or how we need to just hurry up and get a loan so we can and pay someone to fix the roof. I don't think, because it is our personal life, I don't think you guys understand things that are going on behind the scenes. Last year, I had filed like a LLC for Jeremy with, doing the YouTube stuff for his channel and this channel and my channel and all that stuff. When I went to the tax accountant this year to get our taxes done, he informed me that I could have done it a different way, which would have saved us some money, and that there was a chance that the government would still let me switch it. So up until last week, we didn't know if the government was letting us switch. So we had to file an extension, wait for them to give us a yes or a no. And last week I got the letter in the mail, and this week we were able to finalize our taxes. We couldn't get a loan, or it wasn't smart for us to get a loan for the rest of the stuff we need for the property, like the roof, until we knew if we were getting money back, what the situation was. It was not smart to get a loan and then realize, oh, maybe we had to pay more than we had in our savings, since we've been spending a lot on the cabin. There's not a whole lot at this point, I'll be honest, but I didn't know if I was going to need that loan to pay the government, or if I was going to not need as much. And I don't want to pay money for a loan of money I don't need, and the interest that goes along with that. So yes, dealing with the tarp is annoying, but it was a waiting game until we found out what we could do for our taxes. So we're not being stupid and slow. There's a good reason for why we do things the way we do. I'm a very calculating person when it comes to planning out everything. We do know what we're doing-ish, or at least we have a good idea of it. We have good plans lined up, but sometimes in life you have to wait to do certain things. And for those of you saying that Jeremy shouldn't be doing the roof, by the way, he has done a roof before when it comes to tin roof. It's not his first time. He has done it before with his dad. His dad is a contractor. He grew up doing certain things with his dad. And believe it or not, it's not cheap to get a metal roof because they last so long. Whatever the cost of the roof is, I was told to expect to double that in labor. So I don't want to spend an extra 10 grand possibly or more just in labor. That money definitely could go towards a whole lot of other things for the cabin. So for you people out there that keep writing the mean comments, you're just jerks. And I think some of you have nothing better to do than to write me and tell me how annoying my voice is, telling me that I'm ruining the cabin, telling me that it should have just been torn down and rebuilt completely, and why didn't we do that, and a whole lot of other names that are out there. Anything with cuss words, by the way, does get filtered, so it doesn't actually make it onto the Facebook or YouTube page. And for those of you going into the private messenger on Facebook and also writing me wonderful stuff, thank you. But luckily on this channel, the good comments definitely outweigh the bad, but it never fails. It's like the bad all comes at once. Like, so in one day I open up the stuff and there can be, 10, 15 negative comments between all the different platforms. And then the next day, there's nothing. It's kind of nice on those days. And for those of you also wondering about a storm shelter, it's actually in my head in the design for when we get to finally add on to the cabin. There will be a tornado prepared area. As a little backstory, my neighborhood when I was in 4th grade was demolished by a tornado. We kind of like the location of this house. We were down a big steep hill, so we had loose shingles on our roof that didn't even move, but 3 houses up the hill at the top, there was nothing left, not even sticks sticking up. It all kind of blew away. One of my good friends happened to be in the bathtub. Her family had yelled to her to get out. She didn't hear it because of the shower running. She stayed in the shower. They ran to the basement. They were buried alive with the cinder blocks in the basement. and she ended up in the other county. Her house actually bordered up to Cherokee County from Cobb County, if you guys know the area. And she ended up in Cherokee County without a towel. In 4th grade, you know to be embarrassed about that. Since my mom had the tools at the time, my mom went through the neighborhood turning off everyone's gas that she could get to. I was lucky enough to be at a neighborhood next door, so we could hear the storm hit, but where I was perfectly safe. But I saw the disaster that happened. I believe it was an EF5 that went through. They said that it had 2 spin-off tornadoes going around it. So the total destruction in certain areas, like in my neighborhood, was up to 1.5 miles wide. I am one of those people that freaks out a little bit about storms, just because I have seen it with my own eyes what happens. But after all that talking, since I've also been told I talk too much in my videos, it's my video. I can do what I want, and I'm a talker. As you can tell, I can talk. I'm gonna get really wet, aren't I? Yeah. Help me break to the ground fall. Always right. You may be wondering why I'm doing this. I'm not getting on the roof, and with it being so wet and it keeps sprinkling, let's see. Yep. I don't like heights. That can save drain a spot. I realize you can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. I'll just use that hole. There we go. Here's the $1 million question. Where did Jeremy put the twine after he worked on the roof? Is it still up on the roof? I found some that was in our little toolbox that had gotten wrapped around some tools, and I just cut it to get it untangled. I'm gonna have to try to make that work. Have I told you all that I really hate heights? Especially when there's a ledge on the other side. like it. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. All of a sudden there was a crashing sound and a big branch just fell. Lovely. Alright, I'm not sure if you can see right in there. Some of the boards are still exposed. I have to climb out the window. See my beautiful new window? That was supposed to be the next video out, but I figured you guys wanted to know more about the storm and the rain than this, so I wanted to hold off on this. I can squish my butt through the window. Yay! I must be out of my mind. Can't believe I'm doing this. Wow. Crap, I forgot my wood strips. I really do have wood strips on the floor to be able to help keep everything down. I'm not putting my butt back through that window again just to come back out. So I'm just gonna wing it. The best laid plans. And if you're wondering why I'm up here on this roof is almost flat. Barely has any grade to it whatsoever. Yes, I'm up high, and that freaks me out. Oh look, I have mushrooms growing up here. Some of the batten strips here that are falling off that I can't reuse. And just to be on the safe side, that's not going anywhere. Again. Boy, this board's springy on the end. Yeah. This piece is a bit rotten. Come on, Yellow Jacket. Go on. There we go. So yeah, good look at what everything looks like on this side right now. And I just want to point out, because it's going to be in the window video, but the amount of staples that are in this cabin cracks me up. Trying to figure out what spot is going to have water pool and not be able to get out. I think I found my spot. There's a hole there which can help it drain. Holes here. All right, I realize during wind this is probably going to come down. But I hope it helps some. You know what? I can't do it.
Do I stop recording? What was you trying to do?
I was going to go up there and tack it at the corner. Thanks, Yellow Jacket. Will not make it that far.
I just gonna cover the top back up and hope for the best.
I'm gonna adjust it some on this side. Oh yeah, you're over here.
Where are you gonna tie it to?
This beam on the other side of the ladder. The ladder was on it, so I could not.
Oh. There's so many Yellow Jackets. I see 4 right now. You got this, Mom.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to throw up or anything.
Yeah. You got it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna keep the chimney?
That is an argument we have been having. Jeremy says since it's not original, it needs to go and put in a working one or make this one work. And I try to explain to him that a chimney has to be taller than the highest part of your building for safety so you don't light everything on fire. So there's no way this could be usable.
What do you think?
I think it's pretty, so I want it to stay. It just needs to be cleaned up.
Power wash. No?
Freedom.
Do I stop?
You sure can. So I did the best I could. My brain just told me I should not get on that side of the roof that's soggy and squishy and wet. It's not worth a little bit of moisture inside right now. It would just be that far corner at the stairs that would get some water. Everything else is covered. I know because this part above me is open that no matter what I do, the wind's going to be able to catch this and rip it. Even if on the beams that are here, I tack those down and use the batten strips like everyone keeps telling me, it's still, there's too much space in between, it will end up ripping. But, you know, it is what it is. There's been way worse of leaks in here in the past, and it is still standing, so a couple more days until Jeremy gets back. We're thinking he's probably going to be back Sunday night or Monday morning, and today is Friday, but they are on their way back from New York. As kind of an update, they were able to give Kevin Marr closure. In 1973, he helped what is now known as the most prolific serial killer in U.S. history, who killed 200 plus people by himself. He helped unknowingly at first, until he smelled the dead body in the trunk. He helped Roy DeMeo, which is the serial killer for the mob. He was part of the Gambino crime family. He helped him dump a body and then watched him dump a different car a week later with another body in it. The first body was in a car trunk too. But so he never actually saw it. He just smelled something off. So Jeremy and Adam, specifically Adam, because Adam's actually, you guys will learn, the one that found the car. Jeremy ended up kind of being off a little and missed and got other car parts, because apparently lots of cars have been dumped there. Again, check out Exploring with Nug. He's gonna have a really cool video coming out about that soon. But on his way back, instead of just driving straight back, they are doing some missing person cases and trying to give some families closure, or at least let their loved ones know that they're not in that body of water. So they're doing a few cases on the way back, and then when Jeremy gets back, we have a lot to do. We need to clear a spot for our garage. And the loan that I talked about earlier will be the garage, the roof, and some of the other odds and ends that we need for the cabin. Because it would be really nice to get all our stuff out of storage and stop paying for storage units. Believe it or not, the loan should actually be cheaper than all the storage units we've had. And I want to shout out to a few of you. I'm not going to name names specifically, but a very creative viewer realized that I was sweating to death in the hazmat suit when trying to stay defunct from doing some of the dirty work around the cabin. So she sent me a rain suit, thinking that, you know, it's going to be able to breathe more. Definitely will be able to breathe more, but it'll still keep me clean. So I have that, and I got a full face mask that has the respirator built into it that should not fog up whatsoever. But just in case it does, because I am, as we can tell, a very sweaty person. Someone also sent me some stuff that I can wipe on the inside that's supposed to prevent the fogging or misting up of it. And for my woodworking, I've gotten some clamps and tools, and you guys are just wonderful. Just thank you so much. The items are definitely going to come in handy. And I'm not sure if you all have seen my shirt. It's kind of a joke for the cabin. You know, Jeremy has 9 lives between stuff he's doing here and Wrecked and Recovered and Exploring with Nug. So we're hoping he's not out of those lives yet. And yeah, apparently koalas have 9 lives. But thank you all for joining me with recovering this again, hearing my venting about all the drama on the channel with all the mean comments. I needed to be able to vent it and to say to you all that are so mean. And yeah, but don't worry, it's not truly getting to me. I just like to be able to snap back at some of them. So thank you again for joining me, and we'll see you on the next video. It should be the window being put in. Bye. Oh, and on a side note, you hear all the birds that have been around me? They have been landing on the ladder behind where the camera is and all around me yelling at me. Like that. I have not put out the bird food for the morning, and I am being swarmed by finches. Quite pissed off finches. But bye!